Hey, 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 hey. What I have accomplished. Because we know as women, we need acknowledgement and recognition. We do. And we need to recognize each other and not tear each other down. Going through and closing the portal of 23 years of having the office, the base of the office in Los Angeles is no small feat, because there are so many relationships that I have there, and it was quite extraordinary. And it was really, really quite dreadful on a human level, in that I landed in Los Angeles and my eyes started to burn. And it was like there were knives stabbing in my eyes for like 9 or 10 days. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is that I know that my role is to exemplify excellence in all circumstance. I know that. And even though the group knew that I had like knives stabbing my eyes every day for 9 days, you don't really, and maybe I complained a bit, I don't think so, but I definitely informed. But the thing that I want to talk about today is how important it is to never complain. And I'm going to tell you some results of why. So that went on. And then by the Friday, a week later, after, about 10 days, I woke up and my eyes started to come into relief. Now, one of my multidimensional surgeons, she said, you know what, you're getting a new sight. You're getting another dimensional layer. You're getting like new lenses. And I would say that's probably true, because it's incredible what I've been able to see even since then, more than I'd say my normal, whatever source does through me. And 2 days later, somehow an ex-partner had put like 30 boxes. I knew of about 6 of them, but 30 boxes in a storage unit. And I had not looked at some of these boxes for 15 years, because it should have all been in my garage ready to get sorted. And they just shoved it away while I was out of town. I get a crick in my neck. You know how that is, guys? Like you're turning, like hurts. So by 2 days later, I remember a crazy chiropractor who starts at 5 a.m. By 6 a.m., I'm at the chiropractor and he gets the bone back in place. But I mean, the tension in my shoulders, neck, I mean, it was just almost unbearable, which forced me to reach out to other healers. So I connect with a lot of medicine men and medicine women, which, I will do whatever, because I'm not willing to suffer. I did 30 years of agonizing multiple sclerosis. I don't do that a minute if I don't have to. I also know, and I'm really reminding you guys, you are not your body. Your body is a vessel that your consciousness lives in. It is a sacred temple that you are fortunate enough to have access to. Being the fact that billions of source beings want to be in a body on the ascension process here. So went through sorting that out, forced me to reconnect with some ancients that I probably wouldn't have. And it was so great. One of my guys walks up and he looks like the genie from Aladdin, except smaller. And he looks at me on the porch. He goes, hadn't seen me in like 9 years. He goes, do you ever age? I said, no, not really. And I'm like, you really would like to know what I do, wouldn't you? And yet they don't. They really don't. It's kind of extraordinary. And I'm saying this because it's going to happen to all of you as all of your friends start aging out around you and you're not. And I got out of there with every single team member. I hope I've named everybody's help. And I arrived here. And then I have, as you all know, an extraordinary family of blood family. My mom, my dad, and my brother are workhorses. I mean, we are the best when we have a project. And in 3 days, we literally emptied a pod, got every single aspect totally sorted out. It looks like in this incredible office that everything in there, I bought it for this place. And every single thing has been orchestrated as new energy. I've eliminated everything in my life that doesn't bring me joy, is incredibly beautiful, or absolutely practical and will use it again. Everything. There's not a book. There's not a stove mitt, oven mitt. There's nothing that isn't congruent with each other. Now, why am I telling you this? Because if I had let a complaint slip through these lips, your tongue is the sword of truth. Your lips are the opening to the spleen. The spleen is worry, insecurity, and jealousy. Because that usually, I may fail sometimes, doesn't pass through my lips, because every word out of your mouth is creation. I want you to get impeccable in this month, that you create only what you want. So this is my challenge for 1 month. And what I want you to do is I want you to get a rubber band, and I want you to wear it around your wrist. And every time you even have a tone of complaint, I want you to snap it. Because you will learn in a month to shut the frick up, because you are creating everything that doesn't work for you. And so what I want to challenge this community to, this is really important. How much clutter do you have in your mind, and how much can you eliminate this month with the support of this community, and how much clutter can you eliminate in your home? And many of you are already impeccable. Is there another layer of impeccability? Is there another bunch of 10 bottles of vitamins that you don't take? Is there another, can of food that you're not going to eat? It's been sitting there. Now, we also just still keep having the wave that everyone's talking about, famine. I don't think it's true. And I think you should be prepared. You should have some extra grains and, whatever you eat, and extra cans and stuff. Other than that, I want to see a show of hands. As a team, who is ready to eliminate every single thing you don't need, internally and externally? Can we go this together? Can we really support each other so that every day you are thinking about every person on this call? And here's why. This is a selfish act on my part. What I know beyond a shadow of a doubt is that what we offer the world, our community, our healing work, our tribes, everything we're creating, is quite likely some of the most important and useful things that this world is going to need. And the more I assist, inspire, ask, request, motivate, I don't even care if I chastise you a bit, but cajole you and poke you to get slick and smooth, you will not feel the utter chaos that will try to take hold over the next 3 months. I'm going to say that very clearly again. The less Velcro you have, the more impeccable everything can unfold. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the new bringers of the light from the inside. We're going to go inside today, and we're going to discover a new chamber. The Lord hath so much mercy on our family that there are not many words to even explain that energy. And I will tell you, I did my part. I held my tongue and I did my very best. Some days I was like, oh my God, I feel like I can't even see. Some days I thought I just wasn't going to take it. And I just had to look at myself and my life and think, how did I live with this much pain for 20 years? I don't know. God's grace. And when you come across people who are complaining, here's your first strategy. You're going to look them in the eye, because if they're emotionally defined, they almost always have to speak to get it out of their body. The first thing you say is, I am totally hearing you. The second thing you do is you say, I'm so grateful that you're expressing the truth as you see it. I want to encourage you that I am so grateful we're friends. And then you just switch the subject. The most amazing thing happened to me the other day. You just steamroll them right out of it, and you don't argue and you don't cajole. You just do what I suggest and stop taking malarkey into your own ears. Everybody hear me? Raise your hand. Everybody get that? No, zero tolerance to their diarrhea in your ears or your mouth, because that's all it is. You are tolerating something, but you got to have a strategy, and you got to get good at it, and you make it like this. Now, every one of you, and Pablo, you get to hear the backstage that women need to learn. Every one of you, try to convince a man or a woman in her left brain of something. I am inviting you today to stop it forever. When a stubborn human being has a position, remember from Mastery Series 1, a thought, a belief, a position, or an opinion. As soon as you see someone in one of those four, your job is to slip out of that. Remember, I've talked about victim, perpetrator, rescuer. When somebody's in that triangle, you will never, ever get free if you take one of the positions. If they're playing victim, you look like perpetrator or rescuer. What do you do in that triangle? You slip out of it. You all, everything I'm sharing with you, you will need this month. Pay attention. My role is to prepare you for what's coming at you. I have just slipped out of the human struggle cycle for the rest of my life. I'm very clear about that. I know I'm done. And all I care about is ending it for you. And I can only share with you what I've embodied and what I use, and I use every day, all day long. Now remember, the principle that we midwives and our male grounder today, we are birthing a whole new sequence of win-win only. We have come from win-lose and lose-lose. Everybody recognize that? Head shakes. Your life has been win-lose, win or lose-lose. You are only going to learn win-win until 2021. We have a really succinct amount of information and muscles to build, embody, and start to orchestrate. And so I'm not better than anyone. You know, anybody that hasn't met me and spent time with me, I'm completely done with the projection that I have arrogance, because nobody would be as much of a slave to this process as me. Nobody, not one person that I've ever met. I had a man tell me today, he said, in all of my life, I've never met anyone that shows up as consistently as you do and never breaks your word if you can't help it. And I'm only saying that because it has taken me 56 years to get congruent. So if any of these are new concepts for you, it's okay if it's 56 weeks or 56 months or 56 minutes or 56 seconds. Your job, your role is not to judge what it takes to get congruent. Get in the journey of becoming congruent in everything. The foundational principle is you never complain again. You never complain again. You can inform, you can look at someone and say, it's really interesting right now. Why do we use interesting? Because interesting doesn't have a charge. It's not good or bad. It's really interesting right now. I am struggling. And you start to laugh. I am struggling with what a bitch I am right now. I am struggling with the fact that I hate people's guts. I am discovering that people are very stupid and it's really annoying for me. I'm discovering how brainwashed the planet is. We discover, we find it interesting. We don't lay down a position. I know I'm being very firm today. I didn't quite know what I was going to do. I just know that the shitstorm is upon us. And from my perspective, it is the tail end of what has already been accomplished. However, I got maybe 25 masters across the globe that I check in with, some physical, some non-physical. They will not reveal the definitive outcome. Most give me the sense that we feel the positive has won. And the good news is that all you are responsible for is this. That's all you're responsible for is this space. And I will tell y'all, the Chinese came up with 6,000 years ago, a couple of different things that created parasites in the brain. And I don't talk about this a lot because people get so overwhelmed with, you can't do caffeine, you can't do chocolate, whatever. I'm encouraging that we go slick as a team, because the energies that are going to start really transmitting through the work that we're doing and from the other dimensions, I feel like you need to get rid of every bit of inflammation that you can. That means my role is to talk about like every single little impact. So I don't care what it is you have to do to set yourself up. So I just want you to know that there's always exceptions, and you all have to take in what I say and apply it the way it works for you. You're not to take what I say as law. You're to take it as guidelines, except for no complaining. And now the next layer of complaining is whining. I literally want to punch the bitch ass punk in front of me who whines. I am not okay with it. You were allowed to whine, or maybe not as a child, pre 5 or 6. You are not 5 or 6 years old. It is time that all linguistic sequences become congruent with your age and maturity now. I'd like everyone to write this down because this is part of house cleaning. I'm so curious to discover any outdated modes of communication that I may be running. I am so curious to discover any outdated modes of communication I am still running. I'll do it again. I am so curious to discover, subconscious, any outdated modes of communication that I am still running. So the thing I want to say is that if you allow complaining and whining in your space, that's you eating diarrhea. I'm being really gross today. I don't care. If you allow complaining and whining, because sometimes people have been adopting this modality for so long, they don't realize it. So you get to be compassionate. You know, it's interesting the way you just said that. Was that a complaint? Make them answer that. Make them answer that. You know, I'm noticing the way you're saying this doesn't invite me at all to want to help you. In fact, I may have to just leave the room. It's so disgusting. I feel like vomiting. Like, I can say that stuff because I love the person. You may not get by with it. Just so you know. You may get punished. I can't be punished because I don't really exist. So I just want you to know, this is the loudspeaker transmission. And I know that every one of you know all this information. I am not in any way meaning to be condescending. Of course you know it. It's really rare when a group of people decide to take on a commitment together that I get to check in on the 18th of how you're doing. And you'll share it in your group. What I want to do is I want to split up into groups, and I want you all so efficiently, I want you to tell each other what's the running complaint or whine that you don't take a bunch of time. Remember, iron shirt talking. We're going to learn to be succinct so that people aren't bored listening to us. It's very boring listening to most people. They waffle on, especially women. Women cannot get succinct for all the money in the world. I deal with that myself. I think, why didn't you just answer that question for that man? I had to tell you some background information like he even cared. He doesn't. They don't. Just get it. They're worn out by us. You have the absolute obligation to honor that vessel and its basic needs, period. Women need to feel safe. It is a very challenging thing for a female body because there's so much rape, there's so much disrespect, there's so much harm that not only if it didn't happen to you, it's happened to so many women. There's also that same amount of disrespect towards men. Men are raped, but men need respect. And I want this group of people to learn to communicate that way, because I'm telling you right now, I failed in this lifetime in how I respected men. But I'm going to get stricter, no buts, and stricter on us beginning the journey. And I'm not saying I have all the answers. I'm saying I know the right direction. We are going to go in a direction of very proudly walking our vessel through this world as a lighthouse, as a fully embodied female or male. And we're not going to be confusing about it, and we're not going to apologize about it, and we're not going to complain about it. I am telling the universe right now that we are the leaders of correct embodiment because we have the truth from the inside out. And everyone is in a different place of that truth. Are you guys up for that role? Are you up for being an example to humanity? Congruency, impeccability, excellence. So I'm going to recap. You are going to eliminate every single physical or non-physical thing that is impeding your glory. 2, you are not going to allow complaining or whining in your face. 3, we are all going to do this together because we're going to check in on the 18th and we're going to see how you did this month. I am encouraging that you wear a rubber band, and every time you complain, you snap it. It's one of my easiest tricks that will help you become conscious, because you will, within 5 times, you'll be like, I don't want to snap that thing. And make it sure it stings. You need a physical reminder. Make sure it stings. Okay? No, don't go candy ass on me. So we're going to break up, and you are going to very efficiently tell each other what your complaint is, whatever it is. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. So good. This is so good. Okay. So I just wanted to say, because I know we have like a couple men here, and I really hope this is beneficial to you. We have such a female-centric contribution today that I need to bring up some really important things that just came up in my group. And we'll make sure that if there's things I miss, that you guys put them in the chat. This is so key, so incredible, so grateful for the 3 women that were with me. One of them is the complaint of how slow everybody goes and having your time wasted. And of course, Catherine, manifester, you feel the same. I get it. So pardon?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. Well, here's the thing. There's not one person in any of your lives that is going to be faster than you. Except maybe me. Now and then, when I'm not dead, exhausted. I said to one of our girls, here's the thing that I've learned. In that moment, in that time, in that space, you are the only one who can bring the light and the love to that space. There's no one else. So what I have learned to do, it's pretty much an automatic muscle. Not always, you know, my best friends may not always see that side of me because they get more time with me and I'm human. I will, number 1, ask for what I need right away. Now that's a very key thing that we have forgotten how to do as a human being. If you inform what you need, for example, I walk in, I can see all these things that are going. And so as I did the last few days, I said, look, by this minute, this has to be moving. This person is delivering this. This is going on. What I need right now is I need you all not to question what I'm doing. Just please move that thing. Okay. Now that was in a very rushed circumstances of doing 50 plates. In a normal situation when you walk in and you can tell, and by the way, ladies, not always men as instantaneously, but smart guys do have this too. You know, when you walk in that the timing's off and that this is going to take way too long and you have to be somewhere else. So number 1, you request what you need. No charge, no whine, no complaint. Number 2, if you switch that complaint to an understanding that you are the only one in that moment that can bring the light and that they need your presence, like a lighthouse, you will absolutely drop your own victimhood about needing to have your light in the space. You will drop it. It is a muscle you must practice. So asking for what you want, not a very British thing, y'all. You guys were literally had it beaten out of you that you could not ask for what you want. And I'm going to tell you right now, you drop that, you thank your subconscious for making you aware of it, you ask it to work with you, and then you ask for what you want. And I don't care how uncomfortable you are. Get through it. You have a body that can give birth to children. You can do anything, ladies. Whether you did it or not this lifetime, you have that capacity. So stop pretending that you can't. Now, men, when men oftentimes, and I'm, you know, you're going to say that I'm like, oh, she's being so gender specific, whatever. Yes, I'm going to go in this vein a little bit, because if we don't get the basic needs of both of our body rentals, vessels done, you can't get into complex accomplishment as a team. So when a man is around, oftentimes, let me see the visuals so the guys can agree with me or not. It is more functional for most of the men to give them one thing at a time. And if you walk in the room and you ask them 16 things, they automatically are trying to solve the issue. And now you've distracted them and they can't get anything done. The first thing you do with a man is say, is this a good time to discuss this. And they'll say, you know what, I'm in the middle of this. Can you give me 15 minutes? If you have sons, if you have brothers, if you have fathers, if you have lovers, I don't care what it is, learn to speak to them in a way that works for them. Is this a good moment? I have something I need to ask help from. Would it be okay if we do this? There's hardly an amazing man anywhere that doesn't want to help. Stop projecting failure into their field. Not only do you get the failure of what you're asking for, you make them feel like shit, and they do not need that. Every man I know has grown up in a culture that has not been respected enough for him to feel amazing about himself. Another complaint, the guys are not doing the work. Okay. And gentlemen, I love you. And I'm just going to say in overall, the men are not where the women are in a supernatural conscious way because of not being respected. Why would a man want to learn about his multidimensional nature when he's been criticized, complained to, talked down to, and treated like shit and castrated 90% of the dialogue that's come from the females, including their own mothers? Why would they want to come into a supernatural space? That is our role. And I'll tell you right now, you cannot grow your own man. It's not going to happen. The minute you try to coach in a relationship, male to female, female to male, you absolutely lose the romance. You can support, you can encourage, but this is the reason we're coming back into village consciousness. And we're already there. People have forgotten, where you're going to have a community of people. I grow every one of my girlfriends, I grow their men. Every one of my male friends, I get their women to stop being bitches. I'm the best. There are others that are good at it, but I am the best at sorting out relationship because I am determined to undo the programming that we don't need relationship. It's a lie. It's an absolute lie. You came here to partner. You came here to be a team. You are to love and appreciate, honor, and uplift your partner. You know, ladies, the guys are not going to be as smart as you in 100 ways, but they're not even interested in those ways. Stop acting like they're your girlfriend. They're a man. They need to go in their cave. They need their space, and they need to be asked request of their time because they're more than happy to give it. They love solving problems. Now, Anthony and Pablo, have I just spoken truthfully for the two of you? Does that feel good, Pablo? Yeah. Don't worry. I'm going to lasso the bitches. They're not going to get your short hairs anymore. Not in my community. We are here to learn how to love, uphold, respect, and appreciate each other because we are going to set a whole new frequency in this world. I know our role. As you wash away your spiritual amnesia, I have a knowing that your perfect ray of light that each of you are going to come together and we're going to rainbow it all over. No person is less important than another, and no person is more relevant than another. And that's a very hard thing to contemplate when you're dealing with dumbasses who are acting like they're asleep. So what you're going to think about is, how can I contribute light in these circumstances? What is the kindest thing I can say to this person that will leave them more loved than when they found me? Do you all feel loved when I leave you? Am I doing it? Do you feel that? Do you feel that I care so deeply that you're with me before we get together? You're with me all month. I know what you're doing. I sense it. And I promise you, it's like a TV channel. As you do more and more of this work, it will turn on for you wherever you are with it. And like, you may become better at it than I am. I hope you accelerate past me. And then you have compassion on me and teach me something that I don't know how to do. You do all the time, but you know what I'm saying? Like, never be a teacher, leader, guide, counselor, mentor that is afraid for the people you are helping to surpass you. That is the basic lie of leadership all over the globe. It's been about control and manipulation, and we don't stand for that. So when it comes to the complaint factory, so we're talking about people taking too much time, guys not being where we are. They're not at all where we are. Number one, they're never supposed to be. And number two, they have been trampled in this lifetime. This whole BS that women are disrespected is 100% lie. Women disrespect each other and do not work as sisters, and that is what has crippled the planet. Okay, women are amazing. We are capable of so much. It is the sisterhood weaving together and never cutting each other down. If we did that globally, as we do that globally, because we're going to do it in this lifetime, in 18 months, we'll solve everything. And the men will stand there and make us safe, protect us, and support us, and help us get the practical things done. And we will flourish no matter what dimension other humans are living in. And I'm going to bring that into play as we do our meditation. We are leaving the third dimension in all. That's why I want your dust bunnies out of your house. You want no article, book, piece of paper. I didn't realize I'm an amazing note taker. I told myself this story my whole life. I didn't know how to take notes. I could teach a class just off notes I take from other people. I took every note from every class and trashed it all. If I don't know it at this point, I don't need to know it. Done. Game over. I'm inviting you to Life 2.0. I'm inviting you to spend the next 4 months, October, November, December, January. No, 3 months. 3 months. Can't even count anymore. I'm so tired. 3 months. Edit every book, every notebook, every piece of clothing that doesn't bring you joy. And I'm inviting you to find a new home for it, because your trash is another person's treasure. Try not to throw things in landfills if there's a single place that can benefit. But you got 3 months, because we're going to cross into 2021 and your supernatural skills are going to light up another level. I need you all to understand that when it comes to like time wasting, when we set these moments and these intentionalities, depending on where your resonance is when it lands in your reality. Okay. It's not always going to be that day, that minute, but every seed planting is going to quantum. That's why we're kind of a tidy little group today. I need you to know that this is not something that you can logically understand. It is something your faith, your trust, bank account will grow as you start to see things unfold and get easier for you. Do not involve yourself in other people's struggle right now. Be of service when asked. Now, the biggest complaint, and gentlemen, you don't have this, these two guys don't have it the way we do. Story about your body. Raise your hand, ladies, even gentlemen. Raise your hand in the air like you just don't care. I am going to suggest to you that it is costing you $1,000 or 1,000 pounds with every single negative thought about your vessel. If you were all in a high income bracket, I would charge you. I do it with wealthy clients. I make them put cash in an envelope every time they think a certain thought. And I never tell them what the money's for. I never know until the end of the 2 weeks or 4 weeks. But I want you to consider that it is a program that causes body dysmorphia. I guarantee you that there is not a heterosexual male that looks at a woman and sees her extra roll of fat or her boobs or her shape of her butt. I have interviewed at least 1,000 guys. They just don't think that way about us. Am I right? I need Pablo. Am I right? Raise your hand. Yes or no? Yes. Anthony, I lost his visual, but anyway, he's there somewhere. Okay, he's off camera. I want you ladies to understand that if you feed the program, it makes it loop more. What if everything about your vessel, and guys, I keep mine up. Everybody knows I do this horribly painful thing called therapy that movie stars do, because I've got to keep the muscles going. And it's a nightmare. I do it once a year. It's the most horrible thing in the world. I have to take a drug to tolerate the pain. And it keeps my muscles toned because I have to go out in the world and I'm going to be judged. But I don't not love myself when I don't do it. It's taken me a long time to get here. Everybody knows I do dermatropin for 25 years. That's why my skin is radiant. Everybody knows I do, whatever. I'll tell you whatever I do. I don't care. It's upkeep of a vessel. It's upkeep of a vessel because I'm here to be effective. I work out on a regular basis. I love gyrotonics. I tell everybody, find it. It moves all your joints. You don't age the same. It's incredible. I've never found anything like it. It's expensive as all get out if you do one or one, but I can't work the way I do and not have some attention. You need to decide what it is that makes you love your body. And then as you find these things, you share them with each other. You never hoard. You always share, because your idea may change someone else's life. What I want you to understand is that you feed the demonic forces with every castration, every judgment, everything on your vessel. What are demonic forces? Demands of the mind. That's all I call it. You feed this construct that tells you you're not good enough, or you are being loyal to your parents' way of thinking. I will tell you all that I caused every illness in my life because I think the best thing, I was embarrassed that I was a striking creature. You know, I used to be in my 20s, I'd walk in a room and like everybody turned their head. And I was stunning. I didn't enjoy it. I did everything to have people not look at me, even though I still did my role. And the thing that's changed as I've gone deeper into my relationship with God is that I understand so clearly the absolute mercy that I'm experiencing to be able to do a role that I was designed for. That's all I've ever wanted to do. Just let me do what I'm designed for. What if that became your mantra every day? I would just like to do what I'm designed for. I would just like to do what you, Source, and I designed perfectly to do in this world together. If you 100% edit your conversation. Now, I have this big conversation with women and men about hair. When I look at people's hair and I hear all of their old life and all of their attachment, I will tell you, cut your fucking hair. Your hair is noisy as fuck, and I can't hear your words. If it has story in it, if it has suffering in it, if it has brokenness in it, if it has misery in it, with men that are really losing their hair and they're trying to keep it, shave your head. Guys look so good bald. I hardly know a guy that doesn't look good bald. These are your fiber optics, okay? I dye every strand, okay? I have no shame about it. I know what I have to do when I walk in a room is I got to get their attention. And people love this hair. It's weird. They have a whole commentary on it. And if I don't keep my fiber optics clear of old story, I've now brought story into the room and the person can't hear me. They hear this. You all know what I'm talking about, right? Come on. How many people do you look at and you hear their hair before their words? And I love, Fliss, I love your hair. You have, I always wanted curly hair. I love it. You go, girl. Your hair doesn't have noise. It has freedom. It's different. Just you're the only one with full bush today. So I'm going to point it out. So that's what I want to say to you about impeccability. When I say get rid of the books in your closet, get rid of the brokenness in your hair. Cut it to here. Burn your hair. It will grow out. Do not allow other people to hear anything except your pristine frequency when you walk in the room, when you're on the Zoom, when you hear it. And if you don't like the shape of your hair, you try different hair cutters until you find the one that knows how to cut your hair, and stop staying stagnant in what you do. When you really understand, and I'm going to suggest that you don't, when you really understand the power of this vessel and our vessels working together to orchestrate light sounds throughout the galaxy, you will not judge what you look like again. You will go about cleaning it the way you would a room. You will go about caring for it the way you would a home. You will not forego your own needs. It's like one of the things I'm the most proud of is that, you know, I have in so much of my life gotten overwhelmed by how much there is to do and how much lists to do and how many people to help. And I would not make sure that certain things were in place. I don't miss a workout 3 times a week with my 75-year-old trainer who kicks my ass. I do not miss a workout, not for my family, not for my child, not for anybody, because that doesn't make me the best me. I I stop talking in the phone about business. I try for 6 o'clock at night, even 5. I know my best hours. What are your best hours? Do you know what they are? Do you stick by it? Because these are the things that I would like for you to have so solid in the next 3 months that everybody in your world respects your boundaries. You don't have to say, I need my boundaries. No, you need to have boundaries on what you need. No one else will respect a boundary if you don't hold it for your own self-care. If you are a parent, there's no excuse. You are to model self-care. I don't want to hear another story about what your mother did or didn't do, what your dad did or didn't. They're either dead or gone or not living in your space. These thoughts need to be 100% retired, 1,000,000% retired for the rest of your existence. You're all good looking. You got a good sperm and a good egg. Now be grateful and shut up. I know I'm repeating some things today, but I won't have to do this next month because I know that we will have landed this so intensely that you will try to go into these patterns and you'll catch yourself. Can you raise your hand? Are we getting this? Is this clear? Is everybody kind of thrilled about a new level of house cleaning, a new level of impeccability, a new level of self-care as priority? So I'm going to say this word. Your rituals create your rewards. Put it on a Post-it, put it in your car, put it on the mirror. Your rituals create your rewards. If you do not appreciate the rewards in your life, your rituals don't work. They need to be changed. Now, I'm also going to set an intention wherever you are on the globe. For some reason, it's 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock in the morning, wealth. I want to invite you to sit down and do your figure eights. Figure 8, left brain, right leg. Brain, throat, heart. I don't know if I'm doing the right order. Brain, throat, heart. Brain, heart, root. Father, Son, connect to you, Mother Earth. All of the universe is known and unknown. Connect to you. All of creation is the bottom loop, known and unknown. And I know I'm asking a lot this month because Source is trying to bring it for us. And I want to encourage every person. If you only have 2 minutes on the second go, I'm not complaining. I'm not judging. I want to invite every one of us. We're going to go into cleanliness, impeccability, excellence, and I want our figure eights to be looping 8 in the morning, 8 at night. I'm going to do my very best to join us and do it with you. I'm not asking you something I won't attempt. Are you going to forget a few times? Yeah, of course you are. Are you going to get overwhelmed? Yeah. I suspect your day is going to go different when you do your figure eights. And as you do them and activate them, I invite you to do your contemplation. The one I'm going to work with this month is be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still. Be. You climb up again. Be. Be still. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. So, I covered a lot of complaints. Is there anyone want to raise their hand? Is there a complaint I did not cover? Body, relationship, time wasting. Did I get it? Did I cover? I'm looking to see. That gives us the shebang. Now remember, the minute you meet resistance in another person, what do? You don't meet head to head, you do Aikido. And then you go, oh, I'm totally hearing you. It's interesting that you're sharing this. You know, I'm so grateful that we have this time together. The most amazing thing happened the other day, blah, 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 and distract them. No engagement of resistance. I want you to practice this. No engagement of resistance. Drop, and I stop, drop, and roll, the fire exercise. I'll give you any little trigger that you can. between the rubber band of complaining and the disengagement from resistance, and watch what happens in your life this month. Okay, we're going to have an amazing journey. So how was that? I need to know. Was that helpful? Can I have a couple comments? Because I need to know that did you hear it at a new level? Are you inspired to go into new levels of cleaning house, cutting hair, making sure toes are pedicured? You know, God is in the details. Now, you will notice that I never paint my nails. This is my understanding and my experience. Your nails are also intuitive receptors of psychic information. It is not possible for me to paint my nails and be as intuitive as I am. For whatever reason, I can paint my toenails and it doesn't affect me. And somehow it grounds me because I am someone that slips out of my body in 2 seconds. And having toenail polish on doesn't do that. Every person has to discern what it is for them. But your hair is your fiber optics, and you inform people when you walk in, however your crown looks, however your hair looks. You know, I'm going to give you a visual. It's gross. Have you all ever used those dusters that they go up in the rafters, the feathers, and you know, after a little while, they really are dusty. I don't know how that somehow is a good duster. I think that's a stupid design because it just moves dust around. That's what most people's hair sounds like when they walk in the room. So I want you to consider what your hair sounds like to others. Okay? It's really important because you are here for other. We are in the journey of going from win-lose, lose-lose, lose-lose to win-win. What that also does is it means that you get to include yourself in every dynamic. And especially if you're British, you were never taught to do that. Romania wasn't either. Any Eastern Bloc countries. I am asking you to never discount yourself as the most valuable resource in the room again. I would like you to write that down. Angel is asking me to never discount myself as the most valuable resource in the room. We are going from selfish to selfless. It means you never make less of yourself. We are going from selfish to selfless. I shall never make less of myself again. And I probably can speak these words because I did. I became ill all my life to get out of school, to try to be normal. I'm not normal. I'm extraordinary. There aren't people like me. And I'm not going to apologize another second. And I'm inviting each and every one of you to feel the same about you, because I already feel the same about you. I already know how to find the most extraordinary quality in every human being I've ever met. Even when they're the biggest asshole. I have this guy, I'm not kidding you. I looked at him and I said, Tom, you are the angriest guy I have ever met on earth. Why do you think I would ever do another thing? And he starts laughing. He just starts laughing and laughing because he knows it's true. And you can say that to someone when you love them. I didn't make him wrong for being so angry. I just named it. And that's how I get by with what I get by with, because I learned to love me, because you can't love another person more than you love yourself. I'm sorry. Even those victim-y mother roles that we play. I love my child more than me. No, that's not helpful. How do they learn how to love themselves if you don't model it? So I'm ready to do multi-dimensional journeying today. I hope you guys are. And I think what I want really quick is anyone who has something in the chat that you want me to see. I want to see if I need to address anything. Okay. This is all basically, I love when 1/3 manifestor says that. Oh, relations are what we are here for. Yeah, we are here for relationships. End of story. You can cover complaints with job, career. Can you cover complaints about job and career? Okay. Job and career is that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you have a complaint, you're just not doing, and you already know it, and you're looking for permission to leave it. And I give you permission. You're fired. Okay. See how easy that is? It doesn't mean that you'll physically leave that job, but just go, I'm fired. So now I'm going to watch how the universe orchestrates, and especially as a manifester, Miss Catherine, all you have to do is think about what you want and it'll land. Oh, that's the other thing. Because you have nothing else to do, and we've had no assignments this time, I want you to spend 10, 12 times a day imagining that you're already doing what you love. Just bring the sensation in. You're being utilized fully. You are in the most loving relationship you've ever had. You are, you are in God's grace and mercy. We're going to go through some layers of entering new levels of God from what I've learned. I got to turn the heat off. I'm starting to get rosy. I love you all. I know I've been so fierce. Now I kind of feel like I can be joyful. I wasn't not joyful before, but it's like when you hear like 450,000 voices going, get them on this, get them on this, get them on this. You're like, okay. So first I'm going to do a prayer. Then we're going to go into the tiny space of the heart. We're going to connect to our higher self. We're going to activate the figure eights. And we're going to go someplace that I don't think we've ever gone before as a team. I love you all. I wake up ecstatic every day because I used to wake up like 4 months ago crying every day in terror of how I would even find an office. And this is what God did. God gave me a space that is better than what I've ever could have imagined for myself and for how it will serve. And that's when you know that you've opened your receiving, is that when something better than you can imagine. And so it's always healthy and healthful to say, okay, Lord, I don't know what's best for me here. So I'm going to ask you to deliver something better than I can imagine. Does that sound good? Remember, you're in a constant invitation place unless you block it. You're in a constant receivership unless you block it. And we're all discovering how we've blocked it. We're in the journey. So here we go. I want you to drink water. Dear Heavenly Father and Divine Mother, we ask that all the beings of light that have worked with us since the inception of our soul join us in this sacred circle today. We can feel in the presence of God that the resistance and the clutter is leaving our frequency. We can feel in this moment the grace and the mercy that's pouring down upon us with each passing moment. We fully recognize and invite the divine light to awaken from within every cell of this sacred vessel. We call forth all of our angels, all of our guides, counselors, mentors, and leaders that have worked with us for any lifetime that is relevant to this one. We allow ourselves to melt in the presence of God as we open our hearts to new levels of mercy. We recognize that mercy is the doorway in, and we speak so. God, have mercy on our souls. We are an embodiment of many different experiences in the earth realm right now. Let the Lord's mercy rain down upon us like never before. May not only we have mercy, we ask for our children, our relatives, our friends, our communities, our cultures, our countries, our continents, and the whole of our globe. We ask that all living things are washed in this mercy as the grace of the divine walks towards us in each moment. We allow ourselves to melt the resistance to the good that is trying to come our way. We understand that it is our intention to do not only the correct thing in each moment, the best thing in each moment, to bring about more light and transition into this beautiful orb of light that we call Earth. We are humbled in the presence of the divine, and we open ourselves to be in forgiveness like no other moment in our life. We forgive every being that has transgressed against us and those that we have transgressed. We remember that we truly love them because they are a part of us. And we ignite Ho'oponopono on a moment-to-moment basis. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. Towards other and towards self. As we lay down our swords of fighting against anything and awaken ourselves to the harmony of all that is, we are delighted in joy and humor at the grace of God's wishes. We now allow ourselves to come into communion together as we open up new doorways of light like never before. It is a great honor that you have deemed us worthy of this sacred vessel, and that we utilize this vessel to walk this earth and to shine light upon all others as God would wish us to. In the holiest names of our divine Creator and the grace of our own being, Amen, Awoman, Aho. Oh, allow yourself to begin to relax like never before. I want to invite you to let go of all the muscles behind your eyes. Just relax them and let them go. Begin to relax actually the tension in your scalp, where the follicles of your hair connect to your scalp. Just wash some beautiful white light into your scalp right now. Relax your ears. Open your mouth. Move your mouth around. Feel your ears kind of let go. Begin to let go of the tension in your face. Imagine that you have the face of a beautiful young child, that the sun is shining upon it for the first time. Let every single mark on your face be something that is of a beautiful nature, like crystals and all their facets. And as you relax from your skull to your neck, you feel the weight of the world come off of your shoulders. You feel God's grace lifting all the chores, all the worries, all the concerns that you've ever had. Let them go. Let the clutter of all things not of a divine nature go right now. And we're going to begin to pour a beautiful magenta pink light into the crown of your head. And you feel that lotus blossom opening like never before. Very unique today. With each petal, it's going to connect to a star. We're going to rain down starlight into this vessel today and awaken the star system that lives within us. And the magenta light pours into the face. As you start to let go of the muscles of your biceps, the tendons in your elbows, your forearms, your wrists and your fingers, open your channels. You begin to relax your chest, your pecs, your breasts, feeling all the beautiful fabric of your body that goes over your back, your shoulders, your scapula. Feel it melt down into your belly. The skin of your belly that houses all of your beautiful organs, your own galaxy of organs, which are your planets, your kidneys, your liver, your heart, your spleen, your lungs. You feel them fill with light like never before. You feel the juiciness of your own organs. Maybe they've gone through a lot of challenges. Maybe you've eaten a lot of poisons. Maybe you've judged yourself in these areas of negative emotions. Allow it to be cleansed. Let God take it today. Let the mercy pour into your vessel and wash you clean. Let this be a baptism of good, a baptism of the Holy Spirit today, like no other. Oh, we are so blessed that we have a vessel and that we have a tribe and that we have levels of light that we may now ingest together. And the relaxation from the belly to the hips. Hips are integration with life. Let us look for where we have been in resistance to all the new glorious world coming to us and relax those tendons, relax the fibers, and feel our thighs let go. Just imagine your beautiful thighs wrapped around your favorite lover. Maybe you've had them this lifetime. Maybe you're going to invite them this lifetime. But let's imagine that beautiful sexual energy begin to awaken at the root of our base. the kundalini. We relax our knees, our calves, our ankles, our feet and our toes. And the magenta light is joined by the violet light. The magenta is pouring straight down through our beautiful intelligence, which is what the spinal cord holds, and the spine. And the violet light begins to come through the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet and the crown of the head, and it meets in the heart. And we bring about that beautiful violet flame of Christ. Oh, the glory of God begins to awaken in your heart, and you burst in love for all life, including your own. And as we begin this sacred journey into the tiny space of the heart, I want you to walk right into your own brain and begin a figure 8. The loop goes from the left hemisphere through the corpus callosum into the right hemisphere. And this one is going to be a diamond light today. A diamond consciousness is going to begin to unfold over the next several months as we work impeccably together to get her. We are all female in the womb the first 12 weeks. Let us rejoin in that sacred communion with the divine of when we are in mother's womb. We then bring in a golden light in the figure 8 that goes from the brain through the throat into the heart. Feel the gold. We then activate the most emerald green that we have ever seen. It's so alive, it like stuns us. And it goes from the brain through the heart into the root. And all of that beautiful emerald light fills the whole body with regeneration and new growth. We then begin the figure 8 that encompasses Father, Son. Breathe in and breathe out to Father, Son. And let him bless you. Connecting into our own body, that masculine energy, drinking it into the cells to balance ourselves. And then we go into the bottom loop into Mother Earth. Breathe in your nose. Breathe out your mouth to Mother. And let her anoint you with new life, new birth, new energy. And let this be a beautiful blue. We're going to have the sky and the blue of the waters, Father and Mother. This is so electric blue. It has that cobalt to it. And yet it feels otherworldly because it's an intensity you've never seen with your earthly eyes. We then bring in an all-encompassing universal spirituality of an orange. But this is an orange that has the fire of the sunset and an orange of galactic spirituality. And in the top loop, it connects to all of the universes, known and unknown. And in connecting through your own vessel, the bottom loop is all of creation, known and unknown. And the orange goes. So you weave together the light of the orange, the blue, the green, the gold, and the diamond. And your own personal rainbow becomes so vibrant that you allow your vessel to be regenerated and activated at a new level. In this moment, in your heart, ask God for your next level. Right now, we'll be silent. And now, as we go from the brain to the tiny space of the heart and then commune, allow that wholeness of the rainbow of your being to step into your own brain. Look in front of you and see a golden door. Open the golden door. Step down into the spiral staircase of gold. Run down the staircase until you get to the level of your heart. Go now. As you arrive at the next door, open it. Step out onto the level of your heart. Close the door and lock it. And there you find 4 beings of light. They are beings that feel incredibly familiar to you, and you have worked with and visited them before. They stand around you. As they love each other with you in the center, the rays of their heart begin to lift you up. They lift up your cells, they lift up your heart, and they lift up your mind. They take your mind to possibility that you may never have known before. And you feel a cascade of tingles throughout your body as you are surrounded in divine light from your angelic brothers and sisters. Receive this right now. We'll be silent. Place the tongue all the way as far back on the roof of your mouth as you can as you receive this. Now, as you do this next step, keep your tongue in place. The angelic beings step back and make a line. You walk in front of them until you get to the edge. You open your arms and you fall into the tiny space of the heart. You feel yourself held in the hands of God. Your aches and pains begin to leave your body. Your aches and pains of your mind are gone. And you are in total gratitude for this door opening today. As you look up from the tiny space of the heart, you feel all of us in communion right now. This is where time is circular, spherical. It is not linear. As we touch each other in the heart, feel the communion and connection of your brothers and sisters right now. Feel the camaraderie and connection that you crave, knowing that we are always connected. And yet the deliciousness of the action live is like no other. We are now going to go on magic carpet ride, just like those did before. I want everyone in this circle to step out of the circle onto a beautiful floating carpet, multidimensional in nature. Lie down. We're going to fly through space, and we're going to allow ourselves to arrive on our home planets, and they are not all the same. I'll be quiet for a few minutes as you make this journey. Let all your muscles go. Let yourself relax. Feel yourself lifted and flying and safe. Go home right now. As you arrive in a place of origin from whence you came, we are all connected throughout the galaxy. There are also many other aspects of your own being throughout time. Allow all of those aspects to connect to you right now. In the glory of God, in the name of God only, all of those aspects of yourself connecting to you in your connection to home base. Feel all the beings around you receiving you and gratefully appreciating you. Now, as you arrive, you lie on this carpet. You are relaxed beyond anything you have known. And every one of the beings around you has their palms facing your body, above the carpet, below the carpet, and they are radiating their own heart love into you from your home tribe. Receive this now. as you receive this, allow your mind to be rebooted. Allow for who you are as a sacred vessel to completely be born into 2.0 of you. All old life lets go, struggle, conflict, consternation, frustration, let it go. Let the mercy, forgiveness, gratitude, grace of God completely recalibrate in all of your being, all your energy bodies, all your mental bodies, and let the truth of the bliss reign completely into your whole field. In this moment, I want you to pray. Just think these thoughts. If another comes to you, it's perfect. Dear Heavenly Father and Divine Mother, I am ready to be utilized fully in all of my capacities. I am grateful for all of the assistance in my cleanup. I open completely to all those helpers that you are sending me now to reorganize everything in my life to be sacred. I invite help from all over the galaxy, all over the universes, everything that I may know or not know that brings a higher and more exalted state or experience to my being and my vessel. I gloriously receive it in the name of God. I surrender right now all energies, thoughts, vibrations that no longer serve me, and ask for the blessing and the grace of God to cleanse and purify anything that does not belong to me anymore. I ask for this blessing for myself and my family, my friends, and my community. I recognize that I am one of the grateful, fortunate ones to experience the upliftment of a culture, to take Earth into levels of consciousness, vibration, and frequency that she has never accomplished exactly before. I recognize my role will unfold in perfect harmony as I release all my resistance to who I am. God, have mercy on my soul. Of course, I don't know all of my struggles or how I got here. With your mercy, I shall be freed and redeemed into the truth of who I am. Everyone in your home base is radiating light into and through you, and you are receiving it and reciprocating right now as we are silent. And now each of us, ask your tribe around you to join in so that we may make a congruent circle, connecting each and every one of us throughout all of the galaxy and all of our tribal home people, so that we may create a portal of God's light to circle Earth and accelerate her evolution, filling it with the absolute positive virtues, First, let's connect all of our hearts. Anyone who wishes to support, ask them in your home base to join in, and let us all connect to each other on the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. And as we make this portal, we put filter upon this portal, that only evolutionary leap and the positive virtues are amplified, making a beautiful bubble around all of Earth's birthing. Kindness, compassion, love, grace, humor, joy, forgiveness, ecstasy, thrill, positivity, appreciation, grateful, gratitude, and every positive virtue that we develop in this vessel, this lifetime, and all others. All those that are named and unnamed may pour through the frequency and energy and surround Mother Earth in this bubble of virtue, from integrity, ethics, morals, resonance of truth, because we know truth is subjective. There is a resonance that is appropriate, opportunity, upliftment, and every thought that you have right now that is of a positive nature. We encircle the Great Mother. She doesn't need us. We just have an opportunity to contribute. Recognize the opportunity to live upon her. Recognize the body and the vessel you have is your own earth. Bring these positive virtues to life in your own vessel now, while your home people support you, love you, contribute to you. Allow from this space for you to activate all of the figure eights, having like a radio frequency that goes out to your planet. Brain, throat, heart, mother, father, universe, creation. Let yourself be a tuning fork to your whole tribe right now. May they benefit in total prosperity. And now, as we have been so fortunate to serve here, allow yourself to just bring your consciousness and energy back upon that magic carpet. Look into the eyes of your fellow brethren, souls, friends, and close your eyes as you are elegantly brought back to the tiny space of the heart, the sacred space of the divine. Feel us all communing in a circle in this sphere of light. And I want you to let yourself connect to your higher self from here. It wasn't disconnected before. It's just a conscious way of walking back into the world. Your higher self is enormous, 80 stories high, 100 stories high. Allow yourself to grow and look in the eyes of your higher self. Recognize the magic and mystery that is you. As you look in your own eyes of your divine being, ask them to step into this body. And breathe. Allow yourself to maintain this level of consciousness, knowing that your vessel is more pristine. than ever before. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Have a big stretch. Oh. Oh. Wow. Mm. Glory, hallelujah. We are alive. Wow. You all just shifted a lot, like megatons. Do you recognize that? Can you shake your heads? You all just grew up too. It's really interesting. I see a lot of rebellious teenagers left the field. That's part of your old clutter, old modality of operating. Very good, very good, very good. Thank you for showing each other your own rainbow light. That was juicy. So why don't we have a few, anyone want to share a recognition and inspiration? I didn't even know how much I needed that. I'll just tell you. Come on, don't be shy. Rain your light. Yeah, Diane.
So, I'm someone that helps people get rid of things in their space and have for like years and years. And I heard something very different today as far as like the next level of that. And it's almost beyond just the physical things of just letting go of anything that's tethering down that is, heavy on any aspect of our being. And I really heard that at a very different level today. And it just made me just think about just not even, like you said, like notes and books and things that had certain value at a time that really don't serve anymore. And anything that can be in the way is really important. Like this is we have like one last quarter of this year to really uplift. And I really felt that just connecting to the higher being. And I mean, I always feel something amazing when you take us through that process, but this was like a whole different level. And you're onto something big, sister.
And you know what's so great, Diane? I cannot believe how much love fuel I get from each and every one of you. And the thing that I'm doing my very best to model for you is receiving. I'm receiving your appreciation, and I am not blaspheming it by putting my own concepts in the way. It's really important. When someone says they love you, just take it. When someone says thank you, soak it up. I truly believe it is our greatest downfall is to judge and try to orchestrate better than God can orchestrate for us. So receiving, it is a feminine nature. It is very important. And you all know I'm an extremely masculine woman in a lot of ways. And that is the truth of woman. When you are truly feminine, you are actually quite masculine. When a man is really masculine, he's actually quite feminine. That's where the yin and yang dances. I don't have a problem being a superhero. I am learning to never resist the love coming to me, which is what the divine feminine does. It takes it in. And that's what I love about you, Diane, is that from the minute we met, we have just loved each other, appreciated each other. There's never been some BS. I don't think. I mean, if there has, I forgot it. I don't think there was. But we both came together at a mature time, but we just didn't have any commentary between us. We're both powerhouses. And I adore you. And just women watching women love each other is what will heal this planet. Well, I don't care about healing. It doesn't need healing. It's what will bring the light to life. Stop trying to heal stuff. Nothing's wrong with it. So that was just great. I want to hear another one. Who else heard something, experienced, or just wants to share their love?
I want to share.
Go, girl.
Okay, so I loved the part where I went back to my planet and there was no, I was on my magic carpet and it was this cool blue color. And when you said go to my planet, I was just there. Like there's no travel needed.
No.
Love not having to travel. Anyway, and then when you said to call in myself from other lifetimes, like I felt these this pain, like, different pains and different traumas and good things, all this conglomeration of what I had experienced in other lifetimes, which of course I carry in this body too. But it was just this healing thing. Like they all came together and some of those pains helped this. And I loved it so much. Thank you. I'll be doing that again.
Well, it's so cute. What I said is call yourself in from other dimensions.
Oh,
But I don't care. No, it doesn't matter. And maybe I didn't say that.
it was not necessarily lifetimes, but other dimensions
Yes,
too. Yes. Yes.
that's what I want. See, one of the reasons that I'm able to resonate wherever it is I'm resonating now is that I got clean enough of this story that my other higher frequency selves are starting to step in. And if you've done a workshop with me, you'll see different parts of me show up in the room, and you all are the same. You are the same. Don't put yourself in a position less than me or under me or above me or next to me. Just fucking don't do that. It's just a waste of your mind. What you do is you go, I want to know what other aspects, and see, there's a house cleaning to embrace another part of you. And it could be an alien part that's like, some people do the eye gazing with me. I've had a few people see stuff that they never talk to me again. And I was like, okay, well, guess they don't like the green lizard of me or, or the blue, like teddy bear, because you're not always human looking. But that's not my job. My job is to be me. And so when you call in these other aspects of your frequencies and because you've cleaned enough, when you complain, you create a universe that you have to work through. You literally make homework. I just burped, sorry. That's what it's like. It's like constantly burping in your creation. Instead of like singing through your creation, you just don't do that. It's just harmful, annoying, waste of time. So as you start to be able, and that's what we'll be doing in groups, is we're going to be calling in all of who we are, because it takes other auras to birth and nurse all this in. And, we'll do it on Zoom until we can do it in person. You don't have to be in person. It's just that we deserve it. We deserve the nectar of each other's nature together, because we'll quantum together. Guarantee you. The more we can get together, the better. Better, butter. Okay, that was amazing, Wendy. Thank you. I love talking about our other selves and our other lifetimes, but we're really at the place where we're going for other aspects that are living simultaneously in other realities and harmonizing all that into this field, because we can. All right, so here's the thing. A lot of requests. I know it just kept coming. I think you understand what the intention is for all of us to hold each other accountable. Really hold each other accountable energetically. We are capable of impeccability. There is an amazing documentary, and I think it's called The Social Dilemma, and it literally outlines every bit of mind control programming that the AI is working on you every time you open your computer, every time you have a phone in your house, every time you have a whatever. And if you can see it, The Social Dilemma, you need to know this information for your young people. I also want to recommend that everybody leave the house as often as they can without their phone. Leave your phone in the car, lock it away. My personal clients, I require like half a day, minimum a week without your phone. Drop your phones. Your telepathy is opening up. Have faith and trust. You will know what you need to know when you need to know it, and you got to practice now. Go on walks without your phone. You don't need another photo. You're not going to look at it anyway. I have no time to look back at shit. We're only looking forward. So I think we're good. Try to remember the motto that changed my world. And I can't remember not having this, but it always is. I always make sure if can. People resist it. Can I leave someone better than I found them every day? Whether you're at the gas station or the grocery store, how can I uplift today? Because I can. And with that, we're complete for the day. Would you like to say I love you? Let's do a little chorus. We're not going to try to do it in harmony. We're going to say it very softly so everyone can feel the raindrops of this. So we're just going to go. I love you. 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 Love you. I love you. So just remember, you are free to be happy. Bye, kids.